Let us discuss the poem line by line. The first line, "Shall I compare thee to a summer's day," also gives the poem its title. Here I refers to the poet and thee refers to his friend to whom this poem is dedicated to. The poet finds his friend very beautiful and full of noble qualities. Now, being impressed with his friend's beauty and nobility, the poet wonders whether he should be comparing his friend's beauty to a summer's day. As he proceeds to a comparison, he feels that a summer's day is not as pleasant and consistent as his friend's beauty. In fact, the beauty of his friend is more soothing to eyes and appealing to senses than a summer's day, as it clearly appears from the line 2, which says, "Thou art more lovely and more temperate." The third line says, "Rough winds too shake the darling birds of May." Now, here it means that the summer season has some fault. It induces rough winds and storm that often destroys little birds blooming in the month of May. Now, here the word shake has some negative connotation, meaning destroy or doing harm. The fourth line says, "And summer's lease had all too short a date." That means the wonders and the joys of summers are very, very short lived. A summer season lasts for a very short period of time. On the other hand, his friend's beauty does no harm to anyone and is more consistent and sustaining than that of the summer. So, in the first stanza, the poet has listed some major drawbacks of summer season. That is, first, it is not as lovely and temperate as his friend's beauty. Secondly, the rough winds of summer destroy delicate nature. And the third one, summer season is very short lived and fleeting. Now we move to the next quatrain, and we find that in the next stanza, the poet continues with the imperfection of summer season. He says, "Too hot the eye of heaven shines." Here, the eye of heaven is a metaphor referring to the sun. In summer season, as we know, the sun is sometimes too hot to be tolerated. The line 6 says, "And often is his gold complexion dimmed." That means at other times the sun goes behind the clouds, and in this way it loses its shine and luster. Now the lines 7 and 8 says, "And every fair from fair sometime declines by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed." Now here the poet realizes that every object of beauty loses its charms and appeal either by chance, that is accident, or by nature's changing course, which always remain unabridged, uncut, unshorted. I mean, for example, in the poem "The Birds of May" met an untimely and premature death because of the storm. So this is an example of by chance, by some accident. Next we come to the line 9. Ninth line in a sonnet is very, very important as it marks a shift in thought. In the line 9, we find that the poet shifts his focus and attention from the faulty summer to the inspiring beauty of his friends. He declares that his friend's youthful beauty is eternal, everlasting, and continuing forever. It is not subject to any change, mutation, or decay. Now, in line 11 and 12, we find that he says, "Even death will fail to catch him." That means the poet has preserved the beauty of his friend in the enduring and everlasting words of poetry, which will give him life forever. The last two lines, "So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee." This couplet is an attempt to bestow immortality upon his friends. According to the poet, his friends' eternal beauty and nobility will remain unfading as long as there are people to read this sonnet. In short, the poet has preserved the beauty and nobility of his friends in the enduring and everlasting words of poetry, which will continue to exist forever. Now, in this section, we will make a critical estimate of this poem. We find Sonnet 18, a Shakespearean sonnet having the rhyme scheme of A B A B, C D C D, E F E F G G. The meter of the poem is pentameter. Now, if we talk about the figurative speeches, then we find that the first line, "Shall I compare thee to a summer's day," has not only just one but two figurative speeches. These are interrogation and simile. An interrogation is a rhetorical question asked merely for effect with no answer expected. When the poet says, "Shall I compare thee to a summer's day?" it is less of a question and more of a musing. The opening line is a calm, lengthy, and intent consideration. In fact, in the lines that follows gradually, the poet himself provides a series of answers why he shouldn't be comparing his friends to a summer's day. Again, the poet, comparing his friends to a summer's day, is an example of simile, as the comparison is between two unlike things. Now, the next figurative speech is metaphor. What is metaphor? In metaphor, one thing is described as another. Here in the poem, you will find that the sun is being described as the eye of heaven, which is too hot sometime in the summertime. Nature's changing course untrimmed is another metaphor referring to time. Now we also have personification here. Now personification is giving human traits to objects, animal or ideas. In the poem, heaven has been personified as it has eyes, which is a human organ. The sun has also been personified, and so is death. Here, pronominal adjective his has been used for both sun and death, thus adding an element of masculinity to them. If we talk about the theme of the poem, then it is immortalization of friends' beauty in verse. The preserve of friends' beauty in everlasting words of poetry presents triumph of poetry over mortality and other destructive forces. The poem also presents time versus love conflict. The last one, the couplet, "So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long live this and this gives life to thee," is perhaps an overstatement and exaggeration. In conclusion, I would like to say that in Sonnet 18, Shakespeare captures and preserves the beauty and nobility of his friends in the eternal lines of poetry. The poet expresses the fallacy of his own argument to conclude and arrive to a decision that he should not be comparing his friend to a summer's day, as he is much superior to it. And in between the thought and the gradual reversal lies the whole poem. Now, with this, we come to the end of this session. Thank you for watching my show. If you have any questions or query or comment, please don't hesitate to share it with me. I would love to hear from you. Once again, thank you very much for watching my channel.